Welcome back, Sports Tonight on Channels Television. Let's talk about the 2019 African Cup of Nations now. Ghana needed to win today. They did. Cameroon would have loved to win, but they couldn't get the victory today. They played goalless, but it was good enough to take them to the round of 16, where they will face the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Let's take a look at some of the results from today's matches at the African Cup of Nations before we get into that talk between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon. Tuesday results at the African Cup of Nations, Benin Republic and Cameroon shared the points. Goalless, it ended, but not good enough for Benin Republic, but it was just okay for Cameroon, while Ghana defeated Guinea-Bissau 2-0 to top the Group F table. Live matches going on right now at the Africa Cup of Nations. Tunisia are still looking for their first win. Can you believe it? First win, and they're still playing goalless with Mauritania. You would expect that Tunisia, with just 2 points, would have been crushing Mauritania by now. Surprises at the African Cup of Nations. Mali 1, Angola 0. Let me come to you, Femi. The African Cup of Nations, with the results you've seen, is it that African football is drab, not giving us the sort of spark we need, or it's just a testament that no more small teams again?
Yeah, I think the gap between the big teams and the small teams have been bridged, no doubt about that. But then African football is also more, of physical football. There's no flair, no creativity, and that is what has killed many African teams in this competition. Talk about Cameroon, Benin Republic, even Nigeria, no creativity. If you look at what is happening in the Women's World Cup, you see creativity at its peak. You see players using the wings very well. When it comes to football, two things are involved when it comes to creativity. Is either you have an holding midfielder, doing the job in the middle of the park, or you make use of the wings. That is not happening at the African Cup of Nations, and that is one of the reasons why we are experiencing drought when it comes to goals in this competition.
I don't think it's just about because football generally now, creativity is dead.
Really?
That's
just say a little bit of it when Senegal plays. You don't say.
You can count in let's say 10, 15 years ago. You can count the likes of just. That's why two people have won the World Footballer of the Year for 10 years. Just two people. There are no more. So the coaches, the system has changed from having someone doing those dribbles like JJ used to do and everything in the middle. There are no more. Even one of the like Dybala of Argentina, he sits on the bench because teams are changing their tactical plays on the field. So that creativity is even dying in world football. But I still agree with you. What I've supposed in this AFCON is that we don't have those deadly strikers anymore. Yeah. The Didier Drogbas, the Samuel Eto'os, we don't have them. That's the problem.
The Rashidi
Yekini. So there is
Daniel Amokachi.
Those deadly strikers, you can see some chances being created and not being scored. Yes, they're being. There was a game. That was Zimbabwe, Uganda. Okay. You can see those chances that was missed in front of goal. So I think it's about the finishing.
I would take finishing. I will not take that African football is not about creativity or flair. I'll take that finishing. Coaches are being careful. The person is saying if you're not scoring, don't concede. And so everybody just locks up. For instance, in Group E, where we have Angola, Mali, Mauritania, Tunisia, do you know that with 3 points, if it ends the way it is now, goalless, 69th minute, Tunisia has not scored Mauritania. Yeah. And with 3 points, Tunisia will finish second in Group E. Yeah. And that doesn't just speak well for African football in a way. Surprise, surprise, if Mauritania pushes and have faith and score and maybe ends 1-0,
they have 4 points.
Mauritania have 4 points.
Yes. They have 4 points. They have 4 points.
We are all laughing because it's funny.
It's very funny.
Nigeria is in a group that has Madagascar,
Burundi and Guinea.
But also
Madagascar topped that group with 7 points.
Yeah, I also appreciate. You see, I also appreciate that a lot of people are doing a lot of work in different countries. They are developing their football. People have understood that you start from the grassroots. I listened to Ahmad, one of the documentaries. He said that FIFA sponsors, they do some programs in Madagascar. They've been developing football for a long time. Mauritania, they failed to qualify, I think, 2017. They hammered South Africa 3-1 in Mauritania. So they have been doing a lot of things. They have been getting coaches from France, to develop their game. So a lot of people are doing a lot. We are the ones sitting down and waiting because we are Nigeria. We go to a tournament and we beat everybody. And people are developing. They are doing a lot of.
I agree.
Grassroots tournaments.
So, but this Group E is just a surprise to me, and I'm sure you're asking the same question.
They were the ones that played 0-0 the whole day.
Tunisia started with 1-1 against Angola.
Yeah.
Played goalless with Mali, and you would expect it's the 70th minute, and it's still goalless
and they've not scored
with Mauritania. Okay. So what do you think? I'm going to open 2 threads on our social media platforms now, so I could talk to you guys. African football, is it getting competitive with what you've seen at the Cup of Nations, or is it about tactics, or is it about coaching, or just the style? Talk to us as regards that one. But let's get into the proper discussion now. The Super Eagles of Nigeria and a round of 16 clash with the indomitable Lions of Cameroon. That should really get us talking. On Twitter channels, _sports, Facebook channels, Sports. Femi, I don't know how disappointed you are. I don't know if you have healed from what happened against Madagascar. Big match for the Super Eagles on Saturday. What are your expectations?
Yeah, for me, I think the last 3 times we played Cameroon, it ended in favor of Nigeria. 2004 Nations Cup, we defeated Cameroon 2-1 in the quarterfinal of the AFCON. I also remember in the qualifiers, before the World Cup, we also defeated Cameroon by 4-0, and I also played a 1-1 draw out there in Yaoundé. So the last 3 fixtures has favored Nigeria. But then this is a different ball game. This is the Nations Cup. It's the first time the Nations Cup will be experiencing second round of games. Now, you can afford to lose in the group stage. You can afford to even play a draw in the group stage and still get away with it. But can you get away with a mistake in the second round? The answer is no. Now, Nigeria, they've not been creating chances, and that's the truth. That's the truth. They've not been creating chances. They've not been playing as a unit. They lack creativity, and that is key. See, the truth is, if a team lacks creativity in the middle of the park, make use of the wings. And that has not been happening. Samuel Kalu has been, the last match he played, he operated very well from the right flank, but from the left, there was nobody. There was nobody.
Let me bring Ikena now. Anybody can make mistakes, and Leon Balogun has come out to apologize for this error. He's a professional. We've seen words from different footballers, and that's not trying to defend Leon, But let's talk about the selection from Coach Gernot Rohr. If Kenneth Omeruo gives you that sort of performance he gave against Guinea, I'm thinking you sustain the momentum. Go out there and watch him one more time. Why did he touch?
It's normal. It's normal.
Really?
Number one, Madagascar 108 in the world. You understand? In fact, I expect the game, even the Gallows and the Musa shouldn't have even started. In this kind of game, you have 6 points. You're playing against a Madagascar, for God's sake. So what you have to, the Onye Cruz, the Osimhen, those are the ones that should play this game. So you use it to if they had lost, we would have said, okay, maybe we played with our.
Of course, I agree with you. I agree with you.
But this is the normal Super Eagles. Just one or two tweaks here and there. This is the normal Super Eagles lineup, and we lost to Madagascar, and we didn't play well. That is the whole problem. We didn't even play well. We didn't create any chance. We did not threaten them.
We let them walk.
Had even this game went off for 2 days, we wouldn't have even scored. No, that's the truth.
Austin, I think the problem was the Eagles, they were complacent, they were too overconfident. They thought they could run riot over Madagascar and then it boomerang.
The coach even said it in his press conference that the players thought that they would just run over Madagascar and win. It wasn't so. So
lessons have been learned in this one. And then going forward against Cameroon, the lessons that have been learned should be put into use against Cameroon, so we can progress to the quarterfinal.
The game will be won from the bench against Cameroon. It's going to be from the bench. It's Clivert versus, Seedorf versus Rohr. And one thing I like Rohr as a coach. I like what he has been doing since he came in. But when it comes to substitutions, that's where I find him wanting. So what are the things he's going to do? If the Cameroons If the Cameroonians don't move out, decide to defend, how can we change the game? What pattern are we playing?
And Austin, I think my problem with the Super Eagles of Nigeria against Cameroon is the fact that Cameroon, I don't think they've considered a goal in this competition. It shows how their defense is. They have a very good goalkeeper in Onana. We saw his exploit at the Champions League. We also know they have got good defenders. In as much as Cameroon are not scoring goals, they are also not conceding. Against a Super Eagles side that have not been creating chances, it's going to be a difficult match. But like I said, lessons have been learned against Madagascar. Let's see if they will put it to use.
Yesterday, I was speaking to Toffe, and Toffe said the experience of Mikel will be vital. Mikel is injured now, won't be available. What joker can General pull against Cameroon in the midfield?
He will still play the same people. sorry to disappoint you. He will still play the same people. He's in the table and he will be. Let him surprise me. What I said about General, the game against Argentina is a game that was there for the Super Eagles to win, but we didn't make we didn't make changes. We started defending and we did not make any. So against Cameroon, like Femi said, they have not considered any goal. They have a very good keeper. Their defensive line understand what they are there for, and that is Cameroon from day one. That's the Cameroon we know. It's how the Super Eagles are able to break them down. So General is still going to play his Ndidi, he's going to play his Etebo, 2 defensive midfielders. And in such a game might need 2 attacking midfielders, but he's still playing Ndidi, he still play Etebo, and he still play Iwobi.
Wait, so fans are saying that why can't we just work our flanks properly? Femi, they're suggesting why can't we play 4-4-2 and have 2 strikers, 1 assisting, 1 picking the ball, and maybe spring up surprises that can't General just gamble and just change his tactics.
Yeah, I think the formula he went to this AFCON with as boomerang, going with Iwobi and Mikel as the creative midfielders that we have. Both players have not performed. Now the next option now is to use the flanks. We've got great players on the wings, Samuel Chukwueze, Samuel Kalu, we have Ahmed Musa, we have Onyekuru. Onyekuru in this competition should be used. He has proven over time that he is very, very, very creative. He can play as a forward, he can play as a winger. Yeah. So I don't know why Genetro has always benched Onyekuru as well as Osimhen. We all know how clinical Osimhen is. So if he decides to use Onyekuru against Cameroon and maybe, just maybe Osimhen, probably we might defeat Cameroon. It's
just just throw an element of surprise on that day, and that might just do it for the Super Eagles. But from what we are seeing so far, we've been laboring to win games. Yeah. We've been laboring to win games, and it's not good enough if you are one of the potential or one of the favorites to win the competition. So it's going to be a tough one against Cameroon actually, but I expect them to win. Though I expect them to win.
I think it's a good test for the Super Eagles. Win this one, it gets tougher, likelihood of meeting Egypt, yeah. So they'll need to prove it from the round of 16 if they want to advance at the competition. Look, they had their destinies in their hands. Yeah. They brought themselves to this stage. So they are professionals. I'm sure they're going to approach it that way. But let's take a look at this Cameroonian team. First game, second game, because it was against Ghana, we expected it to be that way, they had goalless. Today they couldn't also win. So what is there to fear about this team, Femi? I would just say because it is Cameroon. The records show that in the last 3 matches, Nigeria, the records, the odds favor the Super Eagles. But this Cameroonian team under Clarence Seedorf, what's fearful about them?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, they are the defending champions, and then all eyes are on them. They are also under pressure to perform. They've got the players, they've got the technical know-how, but the truth is they've been playing against other physical teams. Ghana, we all know how physical they are. Guinea-Bissau, they defeated Guinea-Bissau, and against Benin Republic today, because Benin Republic felt that they had a chance, they gave their all against Cameroon. So we all know that it's going to be pretty difficult. On a law, they still finished with 5 points. That is not a bad result. But Cameroon, they are not scoring goals, and we can capitalize on that. But when it comes to defense, they've got a very tight defense. Goalkeeper, fantastic, good defenders. Can the Super Eagles break that defense? What they should be working on now is how to break the defense of Cameroon. And I think that is doable if the bench get their acts together.
Okay. But they, against Ghana, I think they really outplayed Ghana on that day. They did create one.
Put the pressure.
They put pressure on Ghana. Yeah. They the Ghanaian goalkeeper. He made some fantastic saves that day. So Cameroon, they may not be that Cameroon we used to know. They might not be that fearful Cameroon, but they are doing their best. These kind of teams are competition teams. You remember how Portugal won the Europe? They played draw here and
the way they won the last AFCON, no one saw it coming.
Play draw here and there, penalty shootouts, keep going, and they are good in that regard. So it's going to be a tough one. If you don't create chances, I don't think we are going to win. But it is Cameroon. Yeah. And
when it's Cameroon and Nigeria, you'll see that the outlook will change. Now, this same Cameroon that was saying, oh, we've not seen this, we've not seen that, when they see that it's Nigeria, they fasten their seatbelt, they're not smiling again. So we'll wait. I think I like it for the African Cup of Nations. The round of 16, I've already seen cracking fixtures. So let's see what the Super Eagles can do. Let's go back to those live matches. 81 minutes now. It's the first minute in that match between Mauritania and Tunisia, and it's still goalless. So at this point,
Mauritania should hold their head high.
Maybe in 85th minute, just go to score now, problem.
It's a lesson for they're making their debut. It's a lesson for them. They'll go back, come back again in the next 2 years in Cameroon, and they know that they've done it before. They've played against the top teams. Tunisia defeated Croatia in a friendly match just before the AFCON.
Yeah. What Tunisia will advance with 3 points.
Lucky Tunisia.
And Mauritania was beaten 4-1 by Mali. By Mali. And then we thought that this Mauritania will concede a basket full of goals. That has not going to happen. They've improved, game by game, and they've held on till this very moment, 81st minute.
So that means CAF is winning by giving us this 24-team format. Because you said, who would have thought that Madagascar? You would have said, oh, they will be the whooping guys.
It's very interesting.
You would have written up Mauritania also.
And the people interested in this particular group is South Africa, because of the best third. They are the last. They are the last now. Yeah. So they are expecting if Angola doesn't draw.
That's true.
So they are
3 points. South Africa can also
qualify.
Advance. Yeah. Okay, so that's it. We'll continue to monitor what's going on. The African Cup of Nations have thrown that thread open on our social media platforms. What are your expectations for that round of 16 fixture between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon? I want you to talk to us. I want to read your comments on the show tonight. I want to feel the passion of Nigerian football fans. If you're also a fan of Cameroon, come on, let's do it for the love of the game. So talk to us on Twitter, Channels_Sports, Facebook, Channels FX Sports. Let's go to France. Check out what's going on at the FIFA Women's World Cup. The United States of America. I told you that when they get to the business stage, it's always difficult. So it's 2-1 down against England. Match is in its 84th minute. So it's looking like the United States will just make it to the final.
How many minutes again?
Looking like the defending champions will retain the trophy.
Yes, they won the first one in night. So they'll be
defending champions.
So
they said they want to win it so that they can go back home and have bragging rights. I'll come back to you guys. Sports Tonight on Channels Television. Let's go on this quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about the ITO Cup. I'll also let you know what's going on at the Wimbledon Tennis Championship. Don't go anywhere. Stay.